Janice Leamond Creaky, and I am your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's presentation. Welcome to part 3 of the Progressive Empowerment Party presentation of candidates for the upcoming elections. This is the final countdown. A special welcome to our viewers, local and international, and to PEP members. This is going to be an exciting presentation as we highlight our candidates, so sit back and enjoy. At the end of this presentation, we will have a feature address by the political leader, Philip Edward Alexander. Joining me this evening for the presentation of candidates will be PEP Chairman, Ms. Felicia Holder. But first,
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Vernon DeLimo, and I'm speaking to you from lockdown in the United States of America, where, like so many others, right, I am not permitted to come back to Trinidad to vote. So I send greetings to all my friends and colleagues in Trinidad and all my countrymen. And I respectfully ask you to consider my opinion about this coming election. We've seen the other parties, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, the PNM and the UNC. Both failed miserably. Give youth a chance, in my respectful submission. Give young people, new people, an opportunity to help us to come out of the mess that we are in. The whole world is in trouble, ladies and gentlemen, not only Trinidad and Tobago, but we are Trinidadians, so we have to consider what is best for us. Whichever party wins this election coming up, in my view, they have to rescue Trinidad and Tobago. And I say that, when I say rescue, I mean rescue from all sorts of things. Crime, for instance, of all sorts, murder, drugs, human trafficking, child abuse, white-collar crime of all types. And then, in addition to which, you have to fix the economy, which is in a mess, as you all know, right? PNM and the UNC have been there for many, many years, more than 40 years. And they did nothing to correct, even properly address these problems, right? They're not going to be any different now. It's the same old fogies at the helm, right? If you don't trust them now, you think you'll trust them down the road? Impossible. And I don't want anything, let me tell you, I don't want anything from politics, other than a new government that will rescue our country and especially give our children a break, because I don't think that they are getting a proper deal, right? They deserve better than what we are giving them up to now. Don't you agree with me? I am old myself, and I'm talking to you quite freely because I have nothing to lose and I have nothing to gain, right? By telling you the truth. And I speak to you as a Trinidadian, right? I can tell you a little bit about these people who these politicians who belong to the PNM and the UNC. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I was part of the coalition party in 2010 when that formed the government. And I saw how they betrayed the people. They told the people things on the platform, and then they didn't live up to it. They were only interested in feathering their nests. And as quickly as I got in, I got out. Right? And I really thought I would never have anything to do with any political party again in my life. Because as I saw it then, and I hope it's not the same now, it was either the PNM, right, or the other side of the coin, which is the UNC. And I consider the two are the same thing, right? It's only bim and bam, as far as I'm concerned. Now, the Progressive Empowerment Party, right, led by Philip Alexander, has a manifesto that deals with all of these things, that fixing the wrongs that the PNM and the UNC have done to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and over the last few years. And I urge you to give them a chance to rescue the country. Because rescue is what this thing is about. Mr. Alexander in Trinidad and Mr. Duke in Tobago bring to the table a fresh breeze, right? They bring to the politics new faces, young people, right? Who they don't have anything in the cupboard that any scandal over their heads and all this type of thing. And I am saying to you, give them a break, right? No more old shoes, right? That is men and women who are recycled over and over and over again, as though politics is a profession, right? Everybody, they go to university to become doctors and architects and whatever else, and then they leave their profession and go into politics and you remain there for 40 years, right? Because something must be very nice in there that you give up your profession to go inside for 40 years. I could see you going for 2 terms and so on. And then you say, well, I've given to my country. Let me go on my way. But no. That's not what's going on. They're entrenched inside of there. And they're like Garapatic. You can't get them out at all. Right? You either dig them out with a shovel. Right? So what I'm saying to you, so the whole bunch of them out, man. Give new broom, let new broom sweep clean. And as the old people used to say, and when people say you have nothing to lose, of course you have to lose. You have every damn thing to lose. My friends, this is your last train from Port of Spain. If you miss this one, you ain't gonna get another one. So take my advice. Now vote the UNC and the PNM to hell out. Get them out and put fresh blood inside of there. And more particularly young people, right, who could deal with the situation that the world is presenting to us now, right? Say goodbye and play old lang syne to the PNM and the UNC. Goodbye to them and may God bless them, right? Thank you very much.
Candidate for Arima, Sharon Hernandez. Sharon is an integral part of the Progressive Empowerment Party's Eastern Regional Hub of constituencies. Her training and experience in administration has made her an invaluable part of the party's membership team, and in that capacity, she has many hours listening to the complaints of people from all walks of life who tell of the struggles of managing under a system of almost zero representation. A victim of sudden misfortune herself, she personally experienced the frustration of dealing with this country's dysfunctional health sector after having been bedridden for a year from injury. Having overcome that difficult experience, she now uses her time to give back. She also distributes food to the homeless twice a month as her personal charity. The cry for change that she has heard from people and she herself feels motivates her to involve herself in the growing movement for change and to present herself as a candidate for the constituency of Arima. Candidate for Aruka Maloney,
Kelvin Wayne.
Kelvin has been living in Maloney for over 16 years and has a love for humanity. He is a graduate of the Mount Dore Government School and Mount Hope Junior Secondary. For the past 5 years, he has been working with children with HIV. He continues to do all he can to help them overcome the many difficulties that they face. He has a deep desire to see a better life for the youths and the children with HIV, as well as for Maloney to throw off the stigma of being a ghetto. This is what motivated him to join the Progressive Empowerment Party and to now offer himself as a candidate for the constituency of Aruka Maloney. Candidate for Barataria San Juan, Alberta Perdine. Being very family-oriented, Alberta is a single mother of a 14-year-old boy with whom she shares a very close bond. She grew up in a family where positive values and principles were taught by her parents, which she holds very close to her heart. She has an active and driven life. She is currently pursuing a diploma in business management at Sital College. She is passionate about animals and politics. She enjoys helping people and interacting with them through community work. She prides herself on being professional in her dealings with people. The reason she got into politics is because of her drive towards helping people and her firm belief in standing up for one's rights. Candidate for Caroni Central, Lorena Lucian. Lorena grew up and lives in Central Trinidad. She worked in Central Division as a law enforcement officer. She's now retired, but continues to be heavily involved in many related endeavors. She is the mother of 2. Lorena is a counselor for victims of domestic violence and works with the Rape Crisis Center. Her own experience with the devastating effects of rape on a family member and the realities of a slow-moving, inefficient justice system has been a driving force in her efforts. She has established an NGO that deals with similar issues called CURE. Her strong desire to see justice done in a timely manner and the victims of crime treated with care motivated her to join the Progressive Empowerment Party and to now offer herself as a candidate to become a representative for Caroni Central. Candidate for Caroni East, Dave Babwa. Dave is well known in the community of Warrenville, where he grew up and completed his education. As a scout under the leadership of Mr. Harper and through Mr. Harper's mentorship and bond of brotherhood, Dave developed discipline and patriotism for Trinidad and Tobago. Approachable and friendly, he is described by his peers as having a heart of gold. Dave loves helping people and was instrumental in distributing Christmas trees for kids in the community of Warrenville and Caroni environs. Dave has a burning desire to make a great change in his community. He wants to be an exemplar for the youths in his community, instilling in them positivity, hope, and empowerment.
Thank you, Janice. Also in the lineup, candidate for Chaguanas East, Robert Matthew Gibbs. Robert is the father of 1 and a businessman who is a fun-loving, kind-hearted, and compassionate person with a great sense of humor. He grew up in a business-oriented home which shaped his love for helping people with their business needs. His passion is in helping others and building families who may need that sort of intervention in their lives. He believes that people will achieve what they were destined for, but sometimes they may need a little encouragement and direction. His interests include auto sports and working in his charitable organizations. Candidate for Chaguanas West, Mark Bedo. Mark Bedo was born in Trinidad in 1969 and grew up in St. Augustine with his parents and sister. Mark was known to be a daring child and would push the envelope to see how far he could go. His family relocated to the United States in 1980, where he completed his studies and worked nights his last year of high school to be able to afford his first car. After high school, he joined the U.S. Navy, where he learned the value of a cause greater than himself. With a desire to succeed in his own business, as well as in value himself politically to the betterment of all, he has built a successful sanitation company and is the Progressive Empowerment Party candidate for Chaguanas West, where he and his family currently reside and are well known. Candidate for Couva North, Rohani Usha Debadine. Rohani is all about business. A master at balancing the books, she is the Progressive Empowerment Party's treasurer. Having obtained a diploma in management, Rohani believes the key to good management is about being empathetic, people-oriented, and having a passion for success. She truly believes that the collective is stronger than the individual. As she says, if we work together, there's nothing we can't achieve. That is why she values the importance of family. Family members teach each other, serve one another, and shares Family members teach each other, serve one another, and share life's joys and sorrows and lift you up when you're down. These are the traits she hopes to bring to her constituency of Couva North: success, support, and understanding. Couva South, Jared Wims. Jared is a political activist with a wide range of interests and abilities. He has several degrees in business administration, communications, and IT, while doing graphics and video game designs for fun. He's the president of the Auxiliary Transport Association, aka the PH Association, which is pushing for the regularization of PH drivers in Trinidad and Tobago. His activism has led to his past involvement in other political parties, but he was motivated to give his energy and effort to the Progressive Empowerment Party. His reasons for joining the PEP are many, including what he observed as the party's people-oriented approach and the way it propels its members forward. He wants to see a better Trinidad and Tobago, where justice is done and our leaders are accountable to the citizens. It is for this and many other reasons that he has decided to present himself as a candidate for Couva South. Kumuto Manzanilla, Anthony Henry. Anthony comes from a large family and is himself a father of 9. Anthony is a coach, secretary, tutor, and supervisor, and is very active in local cricket, having coached both men and women win-ball cricket teams. Understanding the Progressive Empowerment Party's plans and policies, coupled with his own passion for helping others, are what drives him to be an active member of the PEP. He has seen firsthand the neglect of the constituents by past and present administrations and total disregard for farmers, sportsmen, and children. For this reason, he has decided to throw his hat into the ring as a PEP candidate for Kumuto Manzanilla.
Also in the lineup, candidate for Darbidi O'Meara, Hadassah Charles MacLeod. Hadassah is a proud daughter of the soil. At the University of the West Indies, she studied business management and psychology, where she became fascinated with human behavior and psyche. Daughter of prominent businessman I.T. MacLeod, she developed her love for business and the people by observing how he navigated the world with wisdom and kindness. 6 years in the aviation industry as an employee of one of the largest airlines in the world has birthed in her a passion for travel and new cultures. It was there she came to appreciate the importance of service and problem solving. Hadassah loves her country and has always desired to see it realize its potential. She is happy to be part of the change that is so desperately needed. She looks forward to representing the people of Darbidi O'Meara. Candidate for Digger Martin Central, Felicia Holder. Chairman of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Felicia is also the head of the Finance Committee, a director of the non-profit arm of the organization, and host of a weekly political commentary program broadcast on social media. A lover of music, culture, and the arts, her involvement ranges from true Trini reveler, evident in her unabashed participation in annual carnival celebrations, to her quiet pastimes such as local theatre. Though she has a background of close to 8 years in corporate communications, she discovered an untapped passion when she entered into the political arena at just 28 years old, going on to run as a local government candidate under the Progressive Empowerment Party at the age of 30. Now, 2 years later, she has added young entrepreneur to her portfolio, astutely turning years of experience in both the corporate and political worlds into a growing business model. Fast learner, passionate and kind, it is her dream to take these intrinsic values and use it to the betterment of her country, standing firm in the belief that we are the change we have been waiting for. She is humbled and proud to offer herself in service to Trinidad and Tobago. Candidate for Digger Martin Northeast, Philip Edward Alexander. He is a father of two, social and political activist, writer, blogger, businessman, and founder of the Jericho Project, one of the most recognized charitable organizations in the country. His work with the orphans, homeless, and disabled have changed their lives and improved the quality of life for many. As the head of the Digger Martin Redevelopment Committee, he was instrumental in the design, lobby, and construction of the Digger Martin bypass at Four Roads, a project that has saved millions of man-hours for thousands of people who used to spend their evening trying to get home. He is also one of the founders and the political leader of this party. With your support and your vote, he could be the next MP for the Digger Martin Northeast constituency. Candidate for Faizabad, Alice Narain. Alice was born and raised in Faizabad. She attended the Faizabad Presbyterian School and then Superior Junior Secondary. She completed her schooling at the Faizabad Composite School. Her schooling in secondary school ignited her passion for fashion. She obtained her certificate in dressmaking and design and is now a successful fashion designer. Artistic, inspired, and driven, Alice is extending her portfolio, pursuing studies in visual art. She has worked with the different churches doing community work, helping the hungry and homeless. She is people-centered and wants to see her community and her country thrive. She wants to break the cycle of poverty that has left us broken and immobile. Hence, her reason for joining the Progressive Empowerment Party. She truly believes that we deserve a better Trinidad and Tobago.
Can you feel the excitement? It is building up in the studio and I am sure it is bubbling at home. Next up, candidate for Labrie, Rundle Glasgow. Rundle is a long-standing resident of Labrie, married and raising his two children in that constituency. From an early age, he joined many groups and teams. At the Coronation Park Orphanage, he helped with homework and taught primary and lower school students. From an early age, he joined many groups and teams. At the Coronation Park Orphanage, he helped with homework and taught primary and lower form students. He also mentored at-risk youths and indisciplined children from time to time. He is actively involved in his village council and in his community. His objective is to be a professional, logical individual with competencies to be of value to his country. He enjoys martial arts, dance, and football. Candidate for Lahokita Talparu, Bennett Thomas. Bennett is a retired civil engineer and has many years of experience as a sportsman. He has taken part in many shooting events representing the West Indies in the United Kingdom and Canada, and Trinidad and Tobago in Australia. Bennett is the first West Indian to hold the Caribbean Championship title for 3 years. He is active in his community, assisting in the struggle to make Trinidad and Tobago a better place to live. Candidate for Laventille East Mover, Christopher Anderson Roberts. Christopher shows a heart of service to others way beyond his years. He's an active evangelist, activist, and founder of the Lord's Army Outreach Ministry. He was born in North Trinidad and lived at Picton Road, Laventille, where he attended primary school. His childhood was not an ideal one. At a very young age, he ended up on the streets of Port of Spain, where he had to fight to survive. Utilizing every ability and making good use of every opportunity, he lifted himself out of poverty and works to assist others so afflicted. He is the founder of a non-profit organization, the Lord's Army Outreach Ministry, which is involved in evangelism, charity, and community work. One of their main events is Man Up, a mighty men's march. He evangelizes throughout communities in Trinidad and Tobago. Christopher is a man with a heart and passion for young people. He wants to see young men and women rise up and find their true purpose in life just like he did. It is the same passion and desire that has motivated him to offer himself as a candidate for Laventille East Mover. Laventille West, Natalia Moore. Natalia Moore is known to be resilient and steadfast in every endeavor. Born and raised in Laventille, she noticed the lack of hope and opportunity that was prevalent in her community. There was a struggle to access basic amenities and the pain of being discriminated against because of the stigma associated with her community. This inspired her to become an instrument for change. While furthering studies in business management, she realized that one of the ways she could greatly improve her community was to get involved politically. That was her motivation to become an active member of the Progressive Empowerment Party. In a short time, her innovativeness and dedication elevated her to the head of the PEP's youth arm. Natalia is also currently pursuing a certificate in political ideologies and is authoring a book to help young persons with the transition from adolescence to adulthood. Next up, our candidate for Lopino Bonaire West, Dominique Lopez. Dominique is a family man, builder, and entrepreneur. He is married with 2 children and runs his own company in roofing and construction. A graduate of Sawa Government Secondary, he has a strong desire to see a better country, which he is convinced requires an end to corruption in public office. He particularly loves helping people, especially the elderly. It is this desire that motivated him to become an enthusiastic member of the Progressive Empowerment Party. For this general election, he offers himself as a candidate for the constituency of Lopino Bonaire West.
Also in the lineup, candidate for Mayaro, Sterling Liha. Cars are the center of Sterling's life, at work and at play. Apart from being an oft-awarded new vehicle salesman, he is a pivotal member of the local automotive racing community. He is a lead member of 2 related associations, being PRO of the Network of Automobile Racers Association and an honorary member plus commentator for the Trinidad and Tobago Automobile Sports Association. Apart from cars, he is also a self-proclaimed chef, though it is a title well earned, as many peppers would agree, having tasted his hand. In the Progressive Empowerment Party, he has found his political voice and intends to use it to the benefit of the people of his constituency and the country. As he said, "I believe in the policies and the procedures of this Orange Revolution, and I am going to work hard to implement them." Candidate for Oropouche West, Sasha Trisha Ali. Sasha is a graduate of the Anglia Ruskin University, Cambridge, and Chelmsford, with a bachelor's degree in human resource management with honors. She went on to gain extensive experience in the public sector, working in human resource management and in industrial relations. She is an advocate for the protection and advancement of workers' rights and is particularly passionate about fighting for the rights of women in the workplace. She believes that women should have access to the same opportunities and the same fair treatment. Sasha is also an entrepreneur, having successfully established her own online marketing business in less than 2 years. She intends to use her business savvy to help create thriving enterprises, and entrepreneurs in her constituency. Candidate for Pointe-a-Pierre, Marvin Howard. Marvin Howard was born and raised in Pointe-a-Pierre, where he is raising his own family. A proud family man, he considers his children his greatest achievement. He is an active member of his community, is involved in various charitable endeavors, and is widely respected by the youths in the area. His work experience is in the sphere of heavy industry, starting at the Point Lisas Industrial Estate and moving on to Atlantic LNG. He soon made the leap towards entrepreneurship, making the successful transition to the role of contractor, with a focus on heavy machinery and integrated technology. His drive to see everyone has access to opportunities for success has motivated him to join the Progressive Empowerment Party and offer himself as a candidate to represent Pointe-a-Pierre. Candidate for Port of Spain North, St. Anne's West, Limma MacLeod. Limma is a long-standing resident of Belmont, married, and the mother of 3 children. She is a deputy political leader and co-chair of the women's arm under the Progressive Empowerment Party. She completed an occupational safety and health and a crisis and emergency management certificate from Cipriani College of Labor and Cooperative Studies. She's very passionate about adopting rescued animals as opposed to buying them. She has always been one for protest action against the injustice against workers and rights of our people. So naturally, politics just seemed like the right place to start fixing things. While politics plays a big part in her life now, she enjoys music, beach activities, cultural activities, doing local tourism, travel, and spending time with her family and friends. Candidate for Port of Spain South, Gail Castaneda. Gail is a daughter of the Port of Spain soil and a proud mother of 3 sons. She was born and raised at 34B Nelson Street, where she currently resides. As a result, she would say she knows this constituency like the back of my hand. She attended the Nelson Street Girls Roman Catholic School, Belmont Junior Secondary, and completed her secondary education at Mocorapo Secondary Comprehensive, now known as East Mocorapo Secondary. She went on to attain a diploma in technical vocational teacher training at the MIC Institute of Technology. She has been an internationally certified masonry instructor at that same institute for the past 11 years. She's an avid patron of the arts, having participated in numerous cultural and pageant shows. She also assists with the planning and execution of carnival and recreational events in the community and at her place of employment. Gail clearly recognizes and closely identifies with the hardships that her beloved community faces on a daily basis. During the COVID-19 pandemic, citizens saw her as a driving force with leadership skills, as she took the initiative to collaborate with various supermarkets and NGOs for the supply of food hampers. This hamper drive went a long way towards bringing relief to those persons who have been affected in some way, whether either due to unemployment or lack of access to basic amenities. Some persons would also recognize her as the person who assisted with the non-profit organization called Is We Developers. There she gained further respect and admiration from the community due to her assistance with various initiatives. She is Gail Castaneda, your candidate for Port of Spain South. Candidate for Princestown, Kim Young-Lo. Kim's childhood was spent helping his family in their restaurant based in Princestown. In his adult life, his work experience spans the length and breadth of the oil industry. He has worked in it for over 30 years, since the days of a tesoro, both onshore and offshore. Being a married man that believes in maintaining a healthy lifestyle, he is an active swimmer and footballer, even in the autumn of his years. He is grounded in his strong Christian belief, which motivates him to work to improve the lives of his fellow men. He is very concerned about the levels of debt that our past and present governments have put our country in, and believes that none of us can no longer sit on the sidelines in the face of impending disaster. He has therefore stepped into the arena, offering himself as your candidate for the Progressive Empowerment Party.
Next up, our candidate for San Fernando West, Benison Jagasa. As an education professional, Benison has made many contributions to the National Forum on Constitutional Reform, Educational Innovation, Crime Prevention, and Poverty Eradication. He comes with international experience, being a British-trained researcher and poverty eradication expert. He is the holder of degrees from the US and UK and is pursuing his PhD in leadership and social change. Other local, regional, and international awards have been conferred on Mr. Jagasa for his contribution to education and national development in Trinidad and Tobago. St. Anne's East, Akil Camps. Akil Camps is the resource manager and leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party's Northern Regional Hub of constituencies. Apart from a wide range of academic qualifications and experience, Akil is a farmer to his heart. After graduating from Fatima College with distinctions in technical drawing and geography, he quickly delved into the world of entrepreneurship after a relatively short stint as an employee. His endeavors range from landscaping to joinery to his beloved agriculture. As he says, "Nothing makes me happier than to see a seed I planted grow into a tree that bears fruit, or a plant that grows vegetables." His approach to whatever role he embraces, including the political sphere, is to offer himself as a humble employee. He offers the skills that he has developed over years of hard work, perseverance, and an indomitable wish to succeed. One of the Progressive Empowerment Party's policies that attracted him to the party was the law of recall that gives citizens the right to fire their elected MP before elections if they are not doing their job. He is happy to work under such a law as he presents himself to you as your candidate for St. Anne's East. St. Augustine, Satish Ramsaran. Head of PEP Media, a deputy political leader of the Progressive Empowerment Party, Satish is married, is the father of two, and a businessman. He got into politics because he was fed up with corruption and was scared for the future of his children. Eldest of 3 children, he comes from a business background. He studied economics at the University of the West Indies, but has a passion for computers and media. His interests include spending time with his family. He lives by the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and believes that this is one of the most fundamental guiding principles in his life. Candidate for Tabaquite, Carl Henry. Carl has been a resident of his constituency all his life and still resides there in his hometown of Gasparillo. His father was a well-known, respected, and hard-working tire repairman at his establishment, Henry's Tire Shop, which would become a landmark within the community. Passionate about sports, Carl represented his constituency in sporting events under the guidance of his coaches, Mr. Passad and Mr. James, both of whom are well known in the area. Carl is involved in the energy industry. Growing up in his father's tire shop, he would often hear about the plight of the customers. Thanks to his exposure to the Progressive Empowerment Party's policies, he has also become aware of the solutions that already exist. This is what led him to say, enough is enough, and present himself as an agent for change in his country and your candidate for Tabakit. Toko Sandy Grande, Kevon Gabriel Fernandez. Kevon was born and raised in Sandy Grande and continues to give back to his communities using his technical training and experience. An electrical technician, Kevon graduated from the John S. Donaldson Technical Institute and quickly built his career and reputation in the area of electronic security. He started his own business in 2007 at the age of 25, where he designed and implemented what would be the largest wireless mesh network CCTV system in the country to date on behalf of the Chagaramas Development Authority. His career and business spans over 18 plus years, during which he continued to qualify himself in his area of expertise. Widely regarded as an expert in his field, he now passes that knowledge on to others by lecturing at the Advanced Solutions Technical Institute. His desire to see the country move into greater levels of development and attain its potential on the world stage has prompted him to join the Progressive Empowerment Party and offer himself as your candidate for Toko Sandy Grande. Tunapuna, Maurice Downs. Head of the Progressive Empowerment Party's Eastern Regional Hub of Constituencies, Maurice grew up watching his early widowed mother sacrifice and work hard to take care of her family. He credits his mother for the values that guide his life: the importance of family and the nurturing of relationships, respect for elders, and always putting your best foot forward in whatever you do are just some of the values that anchor his life. He carries these principles into his work life, which centers around information technology. He is a team player that knows how to motivate others to get the job done. With your vote, he can be your representative for the constituency of Tunapuna.
Some 30 years ago, I was one of Philip's English teachers in college. I remember him to be full of energy and intelligent, with an inquiring mind and aspiring to be an author of repute someday. He always ensured he finished whatever assignment or project he undertook or he was given to do. He made friends easily and even from then was thoughtful about the needs of others. These qualities have remained with him, and this is evidenced by his starting of the Jericho project many years ago with the sole intention of helping others. He possesses those rare qualities that are desperately needed in our Twin Island Republic today. Many of our people feel dispossessed. They want to feel that their lives matter also, and that a better future lies ahead. For these reasons, I am happy to endorse Philip as he seeks to make a much needed difference in the political arena and to the lives of our troubled people.
Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Felicia. Thank you to all our wonderful candidates. Thank you to all of you viewing this, our third presentation of candidates. And how exciting it really is to be standing here tonight speaking to you as one of the founders and the political leader of the country's newest national party. We've done something in the past almost 4 years that no living politician has been able to do, and that is to create a brand new political party that is able to field this many candidates, be able to offer you all of the narratives that we offer you now, plans, policies, ideas that has changed what used to be the narrative, the bacchanal politics and the noise. And I'm proud to be standing here speaking on the cusp of a national election, knowing that we stand as good a chance as any. And I'm standing here in the white shirt of a candidate, and with the support of the good people of Diego Martin Northeast, in about 32 days, I'd be the next member of parliament for Diego Martin Northeast. But tonight I wanted to talk to you about how we got to here and why. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Philip Edward Alexander. And I come from a long line of rebels. My mother's mother was European white, but my mother's father was black enough to be considered black. And if you cast your mind back to all those years ago, the strength of character it took for both of them to forge a relationship that begat a family that led to me and my brother and my sisters and all of our kids. And I also think of my father, who is himself a pure Syrian, who married outside of his race at a time when that was so frowned upon, it cost him anything like an inheritance. And it excommunicated us from the Syrian community because we were half-breeds, politely. We were Abids, negatively. I learned words that made me strong in my adult life, but it was not easy as a child, watching my family struggle to make it, and I am proud of my heritage. My mother became a nurse, not to add to the family's coffers, but to help people dying of cancer die with dignity in Living Waters Hospice. My father marched with and sat with activists who were standing up for a better Trinidad and Tobago. In 1980, my house as a child was the headquarters of a well-known Port of Spain South candidate. I've been around politics and politicians my whole life, and I've been around politics and politicians of change, of people who would dare to go against the grain and stand for what they believe in. So, my parents, who are still together to this day, survived all of that. And it is them that I take all my cues from. It is from that I am. And because of that, I stand here today. I say that to you because this has not been easy. This has been a very difficult 4 years. I've been an activist for 26 years now, officially, as the founder of the Jericho Project, and worked with the homeless, the orphans, the disabled, worked tirelessly to get disabled parking in this country. I don't think we have a proper law as yet that protects them. Worked to get subventions for orphan homes, that courts were sending orphans to homes and the state was not sending money to upkeep them. Worked to get the homeless treated with a little bit more dignity and a little bit more respect. Again, not knowing that it would lead me to a place where I've had my name defamed, my character assassinated, victimized on every level, in every way. I've had at least 3 credible death threats. I've been blocked by a media that treated me as their darling before I got into active politics. Again, it's not been the easiest and safest journey to get here. It's not been our first choice, but we do what we have to do. Trinidad and Tobago is in a terrible, terrible way. Every government wants that election budget. Every government saves and puts away for that election budget so that they could share sweeties that distracts and converts and makes everyone think, I could support them, I will go and vote for them. This government could not. Our economy is so badly damaged. By the time you hear this, you would have also heard that Trinidad and Tobago, our economy has been downgraded from stable to negative. Post-COVID-19, coming out of 4 years of damaging recession that destroyed our middle class and cost us our economic engine, that is damning news indeed. The People's National Movement, led by Keith Rowley, is the current government, and they are being dishonest by slapping together a rushed election before the budget to fool you, because they know they have no idea what to do to turn it around. They've stewarded this country into these difficult times. And by the time coronavirus, COVID-19, was announced to the world, January 2020, Trinidad's economy was already so badly broken, many thought we would not be able to survive. Economists, local and international, look to this undiversified economy built on an energy sector that is not ours anymore. We are hearing Heritage is making billions and Paria is making billions, but we don't know who owns Heritage and we don't know who owns Paria. But all of the billions that they're making used to belong to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Not so anymore. And we won't know exactly what took place in all of these deals and all of these wheels and deals that took place in the last 4.5 years of this government and the last 20 years of the last 4. Trinidad and Tobago has made and spent $1 trillion between 2000 and 2020. That's $1 million for every man, woman, and child alive. We've spent $1 million, and we've built nothing new for that money. All of the edifices and contracts that were constructed, all those projects, have all been financed. We're in debt to China and the IDB for most of them. So where did our money go? If we spent $1 trillion and made nothing new, built nothing new, if all that we've built is in debt to others, what did we spend our $1 trillion on? And where do we go from here? Elections 2020 is the most serious election we will ever face. Badly managed, our economy post-August 2020 could lead to massive devaluation, massive price hikes, massive job loss, massive poverty, and could lead to social unrest, among other things. This government has demonstrated it has no idea what it is doing. The other side is making the most wild and outlandish of promises. Things that they could not have done in the 5 years and 6 months they were in office. They suddenly realize what to do and promising to do it in 90 days. It's time to stop being hoodwinked and chained up by nonsense politics. The brightest of the bright people in this country, all of the brave and the courageous, tell you one thing, that the PNM and the UNC are not good for Trinidad and Tobago, and that they have spent the last 30, if not all of the 58 years, looting this country. Everything that we've ever made is gone. We have nothing to show for it, and a country heading over a cliff at breakneck speed. So what's the good news? The good news is there's a progressive empowerment party that has come to you with real plans and policies and ideas, solid organization, peopled by some of the brightest minds that can give you a real chance. When we talk problems, we also talk solutions. We would diversify the national economy away from the energy sector as we were supposed to do since the 80s. We've known this. Saudi Arabia and Dubai and the other energy giants have all diversified their economies away from oil and gas, knowing the power of a recession to destroy an economy. Trinidad and Tobago has not done that, but we need to. Let's talk diversification. As the only Caribbean territory outside of the hurricane belt, Trinidad and Tobago should be dominating the Western world in ship turnaround and shipping, in marine craft storage, cruise tourism, and tropical destination tourism. Tobago is one of the best, most unspoilt destinations left on the planet and boasts some unique wonders that no other destination in the world has. So why has it never been exploited and monetized to the benefit of the Treasury while respecting the environment and the island of Tobago? We've never had a government in office that looked to the advantages of the country and sought to monetize them to the benefit of all the people. The only way forward for Trinidad and Tobago is an end to the corruption that has bled this country dry. Our $1 trillion that has been spent in the last 20 years and the $2 trillion spent before should be in a heritage and stabilization fund somewhere, earning interest for all the people of this country. It's not. It's earning interest for a select few, those well connected to two political parties that finance them, both in the hopes of looting the Treasury in exchange. We've had too many wasteful make-work projects for the rich and famous. It's gone on for too long. This country has been set up to fail. 58 years of bandits, 58 years of white-collar crime, 58 years of massive narco-trafficking, and not one person brought to justice. Is it that we don't know how to do justice? Is it that we don't know how to do law enforcement? Is it that we don't know how to do prosecution? Or that we don't want to? What does that say about us, depending on which of those two are correct? The reality is, on August 10th, 2020, we have an opportunity to reboot this republic, to start it over from scratch, to undo and redo what does not work. We have a chance on August 10th, 2020, not to send any messages, but to clean house, to remove those who have led the pillage and the plunder and fire them and replace them with a government capable and willing to get the job done for a better Trinidad and Tobago. It is somber, sober, and serious times, and you need sober and serious government to see you through. It's time for real change. It is time for a Trinidad and Tobago that respects the elders and protects the young. It is time for a Trinidad and Tobago that captures the bounty of water in the hills and holds, captures, treats, and distributes so that our people could have water 24/7, 365 days a year. It's time for us to use the $5 billion spent on public health effectively and to the benefit of all our people so that they're treated with dignity and respect. It is time for an education system that abolishes the insanity of the SEA exam and provides our children with a continuous assessing prestige school placement for all. It is time to secure the nation's borders and end the rampage of the drug and narco traffickers. It's time to stop the flow of illegal guns into this country and human trafficking out of it. Secure the nation's borders, remove the Port of Spain to a facility 10 times the size in Point Lisas, and unstuff all the containers on the port. End the flow of contraband into Trinidad and Tobago so that the police could have a real chance at fighting crime. All of this needs to be done, and all of this can be done in quick time, in real time, if we wanted it. But we have to want it. We have to want to riot with our fingers on election day. We have to want to go into that polling station, into that voting booth, and put our X next to the only real alternative to the madness, the incompetence, the mismanagement, maladministration, racial division of the PNM and the UNC. There's only one real national party in this country that deserves a chance to give you and give all of us the country that we have always known, we always needed. If you are in Trinidad and Tobago now and you want to get involved, reach out to any of these candidates you met tonight or the others that we're going to be signing up over the next couple of days before nomination day. It's been a trying road getting through all of the hoops and the ridiculous situation of dual citizenship that cost us 10 very, very good candidates. If you are in Trinidad and you would like to volunteer to assist us in this mission, reach out to the candidates, reach out to any of the hub leaders, message me on Facebook. You could send me a WhatsApp to 682-2110. The PEP phone is 347-4PEP. Our email address is peptrinbago@gmail.com. We have a website, peptt.com. We have an app, PEP app, PEP app, free to download on all app sites. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. We do hundreds of hours of live video constantly on many of these topics and more. And we have a massive archive of information that you can research on the party. We also need your financial assistance. Those of you looking at me tonight, this show, and all of the ads you see us running, we pay for those ads and these shows, the kindness of members and donors, $1 at a time. We prefer it that way so that there are no strings attached to the donation. If you'd like to help us, $1, $10, $100, $1,000, please. Felicia Holder, the chairman of this party, is also the chair of the finance committee. Reach out to her, message any of us, and make your donation. You can go to the website, peptt.com, click join. You can also click donate at the same time and make a contribution. We have a very short time frame left between now and the elections. And if you want to get involved and help us, come aboard. Trinidad and Tobago has the potential to be paradise on earth convincingly. Blessed beyond measure. We have wasted 58 development years. Let's not waste another one. On August 10th, 2020, we, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, have the opportunity to unite as one people under one flag, and like a rising tide, lift all boats, to level the playing field and give all of our people a real chance at a real life. Let's not waste it. Now is the time to fire the incompetent and the corrupt. Install a government willing to go after the criminals who have plundered and looted this country. Vote into office a government that is willing to take on the contract mafia and their friends in the 1%. Vote into office a government that will bring justice back to our justice system and give teeth to all arms of law enforcement. Vote for the Progressive Empowerment Party on August 10th, 2020. It is time to save TNT. I implore you, on August 10th, go out in your numbers and vote PEP. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this evening for this exciting presentation of candidates. We will see you next week for updates. Remember, on August 10th, to go out in your numbers to save TNT and vote PEP.